I'm here once again with one of my favorite Midwesterners, Brian Porter, owner, driver of Full Throttle, hugely successful Melges 24 team. Just tried their hands out in a 32, didn't you? Or was that your brother?
That was my brother.
You didn't go?
I was actually out there watching because I was taking my daughter to school out there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Brian here because on the last leg of the last race of the Melges 24 National Championship here in Charleston, South Carolina, Brian pulled something out of somewhere and got just enough points to edge out the Barbarians from Britain and Simplicity Simon Strauss from New York and take his second consecutive Melges 24 National Championship. Brian, what happened that last leg?
Well, we were lucky to kind of get back in the race with Simon Strauss and the Barbarians, and we went around the last leeward mark right behind Simon, and there were a bunch of kites coming downwind, and we were lucky that we waited until he was pinned by him and we were able to tack and, you know, just get some leverage to the right. And,
what'd you find over there? I mean,
well, we got a big shift. I mean, it was huge. And
how big was it?
I would imagine it was close 20, 30 degrees. I mean, it was big. It was that same one that came in yesterday in that second race, you know, and we were just lucky it came at the right time for us. We really were. I mean, bottom line, we were lucky we were able to split because I know he wanted to cover us, and we just were lucky to get a situation where we could break loose from him and get some leverage, and fortunately it came our way.
How does this bode for you guys at North Americans? What do you think is going to happen there? Should be a lot of the same talent?
A lot of the same talent. I'm sure a lot of the Europeans will be showing up for that since the Worlds are there, and I expect it to do nothing but get tougher.
We got a tough year ahead of us in this class, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it always is. I mean, they're always tough.
They are, but you know, the interesting thing is that guys who've done really well here 3-4 years ago, who just haven't quite traveled and gotten up with the development, are now in the dust.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what do you think about the development of the class in the last 2-3 years since Pegasus came in?
It's obviously getting a lot better. I mean, you're finding so many teams who really do a lot of sailing, and you know, if you don't keep on it, forget about it. You really have to stay with it in this boat. I know I haven't sailed in a couple months, and it affected me out there for sure. You know,
not too much.
Well, you know, I could have been a lot sharper at times. I mean, I had a 17th and a 14th and a 7th that, you know, and this 14th and 7th, we were leading those races at one point. And, you know, it's real easy to lose a bunch of boats out there.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think about sailing in Charleston?
I love it. I really like the venue. You know, I like going to places where there are nice places to stay and nice places to eat, and there's some pretty social atmosphere, pretty girls. Yeah, it's a really nice spot. The sailing's obviously really tricky, but I like that. You know, it's a nice race course. It's really hard to figure out with the current and all these rivers coming together, and you know, with the breeze out of the north, that added another element. You not only had big wind shifts with velocity, but you had big current changes too, so it was plenty tricky out there.
All right, well, congratulations again. You kick ass. Well, one more question. So your brother's now looking at a 32, or just chartered?
Yeah, no, I think we'd like to get into the 32 eventually. I know he wants to do it. I think he's probably a little tired of crewing all the time, and he's a great helmsman himself. He taught me how to sail, so.
He's also the comedian on the boat.
Yeah, right. The Admiral, we call him. And so I know he wants to get into it. I don't really have time to do both yet. Eventually, hopefully I will. But those are really cool boats also, and that fleet's getting really tough coming along. So we'll start dabbling in it, and hopefully eventually be able to do both. But in the near term, that's going to be difficult to do both of them.
What about the 20? You looking at that at all to play
Yeah,
around
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be too big for that boat, but I definitely want to get one. I haven't sailed on one yet, but I've seen the pictures and the videos. I've seen them in person. You know, really cool little boat. And if nothing else, I'd like to get one for my kids and maybe crew for them a little bit. We'll see how the size thing shakes out on it, but you know, it looks like a great boat.
It does. It does. All right, man. Thanks again. Congratulations. You rock.
Okay.